Today has been a landmark day for Australia's race to vaccinate against COVID-19, with the nation racking up several milestones at once. The national tally of over 16s who have had their first dose reached 70.5%. That's 14.5 million Australians who have been vaccinated. In other significant milestones, New South Wales reached 50% of its eligible residents fully dosed. Well done, New South Wales. While Victoria has hit 70% for their first shots. My hit prediction is that Australia is going to smash the 70 and 80% vaccination targets. I reckon we are going to get over 90% double vaccination. That'll put us in the top 3 or 4 countries in the world when it comes to vaccination. Today's vaccination milestones coincide with the National Cabinet meeting. It's the first meeting they've had in 2 weeks. The discussion today is focused on Australia's transition out of restrictions and the vaccination rollout. With New South Wales and Victoria now months ahead of Queensland and some other states on vaccination, a consistent national roadmap out is looking as complicated as ever. Put simply, there is just no way that New South Wales and Victoria are going to wait until Queensland reaches the 80% targets before they start lifting interstate and international travel restrictions into their states. In the months ahead, there is going to be a big shift occur. Queensland is going to go from a state that is locking people out to being a state that is locking people in. As for Victoria, the 70% vax rate has led to new freedoms like limited outdoor gatherings, extended travel limits, and extended exercise time. But what everyone is waiting for is the roadmap to be announced by the Premier, Daniel Andrews, this Sunday. This lockdown is different to previous ones because of the high vaccination levels now achieved. And as the vaccination rate climbs and the length of lockdown stretches on and on, the public mood has shifted. The debate is rightly shifting towards what can be done to reopen sooner. There is support for lock-ins instead of lockdowns. The introduction of health passes that allow vaccinated people to enter venues and events makes sense. Allowing vaccinated people to eat out, shop and enjoy entertainment would be a massive incentive for anyone who still needs encouragement to get vaccinated. The introduction of clear rules on mandating of vaccines in certain workplaces also makes sense. Vaccines are like seatbelts. They keep you safe. Requiring people in high-risk occupations to have them is common sense. Rapid antigen testing is also something that needs to be dialed up. This will allow us to open up more safely. Improving ventilation standards, especially in schools, is another important measure. Melburnians are jealous of their counterparts in Sydney who have been told when and how they can reopen. They accept that Victoria's roadmap will be designed by health experts, but they also know that as we approach that world record number of days in lockdown, we need a plan to reach the finishing line. As we achieve high levels of vaccination, the focus should shift from the number of infections in the community to the number of people in hospital. Vaccinations critically break the nexus between COVID and hospitalisation. The roadmap accordingly must now shift the burden to focusing on the burden on the health system rather than a focus on those daily case numbers. So the roadmap to be revealed this Sunday is very important. Without something to hold on to, many are letting go.